gentlemen, we are live here in Mason, Ohio for the second annual Queen City Classic finale. This is Kevin Lindsay, joined by two-time world champion Andy Haas.
Hey,
Andy,
Kevin, how's it going?
Good. How are you, sir?
Good. Ready to hopefully watch an exciting match here, maybe even two.
Yeah, so we have Jeff Sutyak of Ohio versus Mr. Paul Luna from Houston, Missouri. One of the two.
That took me a second. I got it.
I appreciate it. So Jeff is king of the hill. He needs to be defeated twice by Paul Luna.
Mark Stenmark, early lead in the clubhouse for best comments.
Paul Luna must defeat Sutyak twice to become the Queen City Classic champion. Jeff playing amazing today, the king of the hill, lights out.
Yeah, he's been bulldozing all day. He shot a 30 on Ruby against me. He didn't even give me a chance, and it was pretty irritating. So
Appreciate it. Thanks again to Richard King and Golden TV for putting in all this work to set up this live stream and getting photos and videos of the action all weekend long.
AJ, say hi to the world. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi.
Now, you were just pointing out, Andy, that Mr. Sutyak is on fire today.
Yeah, he is.
On Ruby Rock.
He's playing very well. These guys, let's see what we got here. And they're quitting. All right. Oh, somebody fired up a one-player game by accident. Happens all the time. Yeah, Mr. Kool-Aid, I think where they're at now is they're just asking for some more pieces so they don't have to void the whole thing. So, hopefully that goes through. I like that draft pick next year. I wouldn't mind keeping that.
All right, so Andy, I got to ask, two-time world champion, you've been on the top of the game for the long time here. You've played both of these players many times. What are your thoughts going into this final match with Jeff being the king of the hill?
I think the key for Jeff is probably to get an early lead because Luna's been here so many times. If Jeff gets down early, maybe some doubt can creep in. So I think it's important for Jeff to get off to a good start here. Luna's the kind of guy, if you get down against him, it's basically donezo.
Right, and Luna, we've seen plenty on this side of the desk. We've seen him come back from 1-2 stroke deficits on many occasions. You just played him in the finals of Indy a couple weeks ago. You guys had a lot of back and forth battles there, and anything can happen when it comes down to Golden Tee. You guys are all such great players, and it just takes one good roll of the ball in the cup, and
Jeff's been running good on holeouts today. Let's see if he gets it. Just broke off.
Luna, did you see Luna's name?
No, I got it.
Mr. Paul Luna with his fun head games over here. Ooh, I see what you're saying.
You're going to see a contrast in styles here. Jeff does a lot of.
Oh, Paul Luna, I don't know how you could not like Paul Luna. He's such a character. And he's done such a turnaround when it comes to playing Golden Tee in the last couple of years. It's been ridiculous.
Right now, for my money, I think he's the best there is right now, if you ask me.
Yeah, there's not really too many arguments against that. But Jeff, the same thing for Jeff. Jeff has been playing very well. He took second in Chicago against world champion Stenmark.
He's kind of, incrementally, he's made a little farther, he finally got on the podium, I think, when was that? In Cincinnati last year. Mm-hmm. And then I think he had another top four, and then he got the second. So he's kind of,
he's been making a
I
name
mean,
for himself.
he's never gonna be in a better position here. He's got 2 cracks at it, and we'll see. Just got to keep those nerves under control. Like I said, you know, if he can, if he can maybe get a pull out, or if Luna drops a stroke, that could be it. And not a fan of that. I don't know why he turned twice there.
Yeah, that was.
So with this pin, when the pin's in the middle of the green here, I like this shot Paul does here because this sets up for a nice either full 9.5 or full 10.5.
Yeah, you really just have to,
I think the
avoid the rock here.
He's gonna play more of a blind cut at it. Yeah, but that's the idea.
Yeah.
I prefer going down the fairway there when the pin's middle or right because you got so much room to swing it in there. It's like Jeff, he's gonna have to make a long putt here, I think. Yeah, this is gonna be maybe a right one.
Now, I don't know about you, but as an average player like myself, those right ones are the worst.
So you noticed that right there.
Yeah.
I think that was some nerves there. He was, that wasn't even really all that close. I think he's probably nervous.
I want to say this is
You know, what Paul needs to do here. He can end up winning the finals here with this match. It's not unlike a Worlds last year where he was king of the hill, and I won a bunch of matches to get to him. Got a few pull-outs in our first game, and it was kind of just, kind of demoralized him, I think, and he's got a chance to do that right here.
Now, I know all you guys, like Luna, yourself, Jeff, a handful of you guys that are occasionally in the top 4. You guys are great at all these courses, but would you agree that Ruby is probably the one that maybe?
I think
be a game
of all
changer?
the courses this year, I think you would see the most drop strokes on this course.
I'm thinking that hole 13, 14, the par 3, the up 11,
12 the par 5. The up 11, also 16, 17, 18. So.
Yeah, it really depends on that setup.
Number 5 can be tricky. That wasn't a hard setup that they had.
No, that was a good one here. But, Jeff has just got to get it in his head that, he's down a stroke. But like you said, he's been holing out all day. It's not unlikely for, unlike him to pull something out in the next couple holes. He's got plenty of holes to work with.
Yeah, you don't have to get crazy yet. I'd say it's probably 50-50 that Paul drops 1 stroke the rest of the way, so you don't have to sell out on anything here.
Now, can't come back and he loses his first match to Luna. What, do you tip it in the favor of Luna?
No, 100%. Yeah. I think Jeff has to win this game.
Really?
Sure.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like you said earlier, Luna's been in this position so many times where he's had
this
battle
is
back.
This is old hat for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's definitely proved he's played his game very well over the last couple of years. And I don't know, sometimes it seems like you watch the Luna, you see the Luna from a couple of years ago and you compare it to now, and it's night and day, like 2 different people.
He's so consistent. So consistent. Yeah, I mean, you said we played, I think we played 8 matches in Indy. And I think he probably shot 6 clean games out of it, or better, the only games I beat him are ones I got holdouts in. He just doesn't mess up. I gotta agree with Mark here that really the design a whole knee is probably where this match is gonna come down to. I'm laughing at the chat.
Oh. Yeah, if you guys are not following Golden Tee TV on YouTube, you need to be doing so right now, not only for the videos that Richard King provides, but some of the commentary you see on these video streams is just as good as the content on the screen. Yeah, for those of you just joining us, Mr. King threw it up there now. Kevin Lindsay from Incredible Technologies commentating along 2-time world champion Andy Haas. So A lot of knowledge, I think, between the two of us. Andy's been playing for, I don't know, how many years
I
now?
started in about 2003,
Yeah.
2002, 2003.
Almost
so,
15
yeah, about
years
15
now.
years,
And
yeah.
I've been an average Joe for 20-something years, so I may not be good, but I can tell you when somebody's good.
I think I did a Yahoo search for Golden Tee and found a tournament near me, and
Just the fact that you said Yahoo just
oh, yeah,
dates,
exactly.
absolutely dates that.
that was intentional.
Oh, absolutely. Remember that one time it set up hard? Nope. Stays.
All right, let's see what we get here. Well, this is a good-looking hole-out setup right here.
Yeah, see, this hole for me is
I
a
think if I was
pain.
Paul, I'd probably tee a low 9 here. Yeah.
Yeah. See, my problem is I use the super spin clubs,
there it
and
is.
yep,
Okay, yeah, so
Luna
this
just
is,
nutted it.
This is what I was talking about here. This is, yeah, this. It's gonna go with the medium. Is that going to spin enough? It's not going to spin
Oh.
enough.
Just a little bit to the left there, but
I believe that's. I don't think I'm implying it, Mark. I think I stated it pretty explicitly.
now again, Jeff is king of the hill, so
He
Luna
is-
needs
he's
to
got
beat
two
him
cracks,
twice.
But you got to think now. Luna's not going to mess up, and then if he's got hole out luck on his side too, and that's just that's a lethal combination.
Yeah, so Jeff is definitely not out, but he's got to come back. He's got 7 holes left now to stage
yeah,
a
really,
comeback.
If I'm Jeff, I'm thinking I got to pick up a stroke on maybe 12, and then I'm probably going to need a hole out too. Paul's not dropping 2 strokes. Yeah, and see, he kind of ran bad on this setup because it's a pretty easy look.
Yeah, and the only other hole, outside of maybe 17, the par 3, is the, was that 16? Is that the drivable 4?
Yeah, 16.
16 can set up hard,
16,
but
yeah.
it's rare, though, I think.
Yeah, I think 16, 17, 18 are all holes that even if you mess up, you're only going to give up 1 stroke. So really, I don't see.
So Jeff needs to really hole
needs a
out.
hole out,
He
yeah.
needs a hole out, and then, hope Luna is off his game, for a shot or two. But, which is not. We've seen it before with Luna. It's not unthinkable. It's absolutely not unthinkable for Luna to give it a couple strokes, but with the way Luna's been playing last couple of months, it's hard.
Did you buy those? Or? Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, Caitlin. Okay. Caitlin Ivy.
Providing the liqueur for the commentary team. And then Don Van Hoosier shows up out of nowhere.
The commentating juice.
Always appreciated when you're sitting behind the desk. Now, I think Jeff has a chance of holding us out. Jeff's got some dangerous thumbs here.
I don't. Is 6 foot gonna get there? Yeah, no. That was never gonna get there. Did you hear that we drank him out of Captain Morgan this weekend?
Really?
Yeah. The waitress had to come inform me of that, so I had to switch up my beverage choice.
I heard that the Team Wisconsin was drinking him out of Busch Lights.
Busch Light. Oh yeah. I mean,
Absolutely not surprising there.
No surprise at all there.
Never a dull moment at a Gold Tee tournament. Now, I don't.
So this
This is an interesting pin placement.
Yeah, it is where the green's the skinniest, but Paul's just going to be smart here.
Yeah. Now this is where, for Jeff, this is where he's got to try to get a stroke back, but he can't be too aggressive.
Honestly, I mean, the knee is going to be his best chance at a hole out.
Now, I know we touched upon this earlier a little bit, but at what point, if you're Jeff, you're down 2 at this point, at what point do you just kind of play the game out and just kind of clear your head mentally and just say, all right, I got another chance. Let's do this.
Yeah. If I was in his spot, honestly, I'm looking forward.
You know,
to
you're
the
not
next
gonna. I
game
mean,
already.
you're not trying to. You're not trying any crazy shots. You're not. You're just trying to play your game.
Getting back to a two-stroke deficit from Paul is just. It's just not something that happens.
Yeah.
That's a good look for a. I'd probably hit a full. I think he's thinking about it now. All right, let's see. Now he's got that. He's got a rollover putt, so that is not a gimme right there. Jeff needs to hit one tight here and put the pressure on Paul.
Oh, that.
Thank you. Bottoms up. These little dink putts are real tough on the right. And
Oh, you got it.
Cheers.
Thank you, ladies and gents.
Doing some blue shots. Thanks, Caitlin. Thank you.
Now this is what we were talking about earlier. This is a nasty look for 17.
It looks nasty, but he's going to do this full right here, and
Oh yeah, yeah.
So the way that is not nasty is playing that shot there. He's using the fattest part of the green to land it, and it really, looks tough. But it's Jeff. He doesn't really play the daily so he doesn't do a lot of fulls. He's going to do a lot of blind cuts where that shot's just you don't even have to think about that if you're Paul.
Right.
That's just a simple. All right, so. Again,
Mr. Kinsler, I believe he's on Facebook Live joining us in along with Nick Clark and Josh Martin, a few others. So thanks for checking in here.
That's all Paul had to do there.
Yeah, I mean, even with a birdie, unless Jeff aces
with
this.
With the pin not being near the water.
He's got to ace this to have a shot. And
all he's got to do is get one close there. Somewhere around the green. Now he can just lag this chip here. He's going to turn right one probably. No, he's going to actually just try and chip it in.
Well, and that pin's so far away from the water, it's, yeah, he missed it, but there's not a lot of danger there.
Did leave himself a couple feet more than I'm thinking he would have liked, but that's a straight putt. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so Paul Luna takes down the king of the hill, Jeff Sutyak, 28-27 on Ruby Rock. So we are absolutely positively in the final match, or heading to the final match right now. So king of the hill means nothing anymore. Winner takes all in this this next battle you're about to see. Now, you play with Jeff ever so often, right? Now, what do you, in your opinion, what do you think his best course is in 2017?
Let's see. I'm trying to think of one that
and it's hard because Paul plays so many games on all these courses.
Jeff's got a pretty good 180, so Sandy could be a good course for him with number 15 there. I'm not exactly sure what Jeff would say his best course is.
Yeah. Now, what about Luna? I know you don't play with him as much, but in these tournaments, you and him seem to be neck and neck lately. You played all 5 courses in Indy with him.
Yeah. So yeah. Jeez. He was nails on pretty much all of them. Yeah. I would favor, for me, just because I play streaks, I would favor playing Pine or Sandy and hoping either Pine 4 or Sandy 15 was super marginal that only I could get it.
Now, is that what Luna uses as well?
No. He used grabbers on all, and Jeff used Maniac. So as far as equipment, equipment-wise, Jeff doesn't use the 290. So if there's any setup where that comes into play, that's gonna hurt him.
Okay.
Hi, Ryan. Well, I called it. I said he probably wouldn't mind Sandy here. So
Yeah, and Sandy seems to me as an I'll call myself an average player that plays enough, but Sandy seems kind of like that balance between a hard course this year and it's not easy, but it's so flat. That's the biggest thing I hear a lot of you guys talking about. It's so flat. There's not a lot of shots like we saw in Ruby where the elevation changes radically.
So if you ask me, this is a must-win situation for Jeff right here. If you ask me.
And I was just thinking it's a must-win for Paul Luna. So
okay, so look at this setup here. We've got a straight one win. I would say you'd probably have to lay money. Will there be a whole lot on this hole? Is probably like -150 if you ask me. I think one of these two guys are gonna. The key right here is number one, make sure your wind is straight, but also make sure you leave a good distance where you can hit a comfortable thumb shot at it.
Now, and you were in the same or a similar situation earlier on Ruby Rock with Kevin O'Connor,
this is a
right?
5-iron bite right here.
Where you just had that straight shot right at it.
Yeah. That's it. I mean, that's a layup. That's a layup. He left him. You notice it was 155, a perfect. You don't have to, because the harder you hit it, the more. Let's see if Jeff can answer. And so he left himself not a great distance because he had 144 right in between his.
Right, so he's got to kind of thumb it a lot softer.
He would have had to roll that, or he would have had to thumb it a lot harder, and so. And
so
now,
would you say that Luna he hold out? This
is
Luna's game almost.
I feel bad for Jeff because he's dropped one stroke. But Luna's got the whole out luck going his way, and boy, I mean, you blink and all of a sudden you're lost one, and now you're down already. This is gonna be.
Now, do you think
it's gonna be tough?
Like I said earlier, you played a lot with Jeff. When it comes to his mental game in a situation like this, do you think he can kind of brush it off, or?
That's definitely one of the things, and why you've seen him on the podium a lot more lately is he's kind of got past that where maybe he was nervous before and not anymore. But this is still even though he finished second in Chicago, he wasn't the king of the hill. So this still is a new scenario for him.
But in Chicago, he had to win a lot more to get to that spot.
Yeah, that's true. No, see, now we're starting to see a there's a loose shot.
Nah, and even though he made it, it's still. I agree. It's still.
Because you can't make them all. Well, you're gonna you're gonna miss one of those. So he's got a man. The next hole is a pretty easy par 3. Maybe he can get a hole in one there.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever a scenario where there's a hard look.
Well, now hold on a second. Now Paul that was not his best effort. Let's see what Jeff's going to do here. I like that high 6-wood that Paul hit. He just needed to cut a little more.
Yeah, it seemed like he didn't get all that. Oh wow, that was
a good shot.
That was like.
This could be the shot that gets him back in the match here. Ooh. That's a great chip by Paul.
Yeah, that was a really
I think
good
if Paul was being honest, he would tell you that chipping would probably, if there is anything that he's not excellent at,
chipping is his.
He could miss a chip once in a while, but obviously he buried that one in the center, and that's it's always super demoralizing when you see somebody miss a green like that, and you think maybe you're going to get one, and then he just nuts the chip.
He just jams it right in the center of the cup. But this is not a bad look, even though that pit's a kind of a right tuck pin. The way you guys hit those thumbs.
Yeah, this is just he's gonna push this one hair right. Hope to get lucky. Turn.
Oh, that was close.
Maybe we can get a back tee headwind set up here just for a little fun. Yeah, wow, did I call that one or what? Uh-oh. Ooh,
wow.
That got down real quick.
So I'm a guy, I use the 9.5 and the 10.5. Is the 8.5, is that lower?
Yeah.
Lower, like real low loft?
8.5 is,
I've seen a
use it
couple
on
people's
Juniper.
player.
I use it on Juniper, but yeah, I don't really care for that 8.5. It goes too low for me. You can't.
Well, especially even on a flat course like this, I feel like, especially with 16 or was that 15 the par 4, you know, he's got the 10.5, which is fine, but I don't know. With it being such a flat course, I just don't see the use of an 8.5 low loft
Yeah,
driver.
I mean, you can water skip on 15 from more setups than you can with the 9.5.
Okay, that's true.
But I don't really think it goes all that much further, and it hooks less too, which can be a disadvantage. So.
Right. Well, especially on that hole if you're trying to do that low tee skip water skip.
All right, now Jeff doesn't do a 9-wood. I think he's got an 8. I don't know. Yeah, he's going to have to hammer the 7-iron, I think, and that.
Does the 8 not get there?
Yeah. So, well, I mean, only 185. You'd probably have to high tee it, and then so now you're really.
That's true. You gotta. Yeah, that's a lot. That's
I've
extremely
told
soft
Jeff
shot.
he needs a 9-wood on this course, but and there it is. Yep, that's. See, so to me right there, that all comes down to not having the right club in your bag, you know.
Yeah.
And so instead of having a kick in like Paul did, he had a 60-footer, and under pressure, those are. I mean, anybody missed that.
Oh, geez.
And
Luna just aced it.
This is just, this is.
Yeah, Jeff is going to have to hole out a lot to come back from this.
This is. Man. On the one hand, if you're Jeff, you can look at it and say, okay, I didn't play bad, But on the other hand, you're like, man, I didn't even have a chance,
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, Paul is good enough. When the whole out lock is running with him, I just forget it. Yeah, we need something real fluky here. I'm trying to think of a hole you could lose multiple strokes on. 17 would really be the only one, because even 18, if you get wet, it drops you right next to the
what's
pin.
the not 18, but what's the par 5 before that? Is that 15? Sometimes you get a wind in your face.
16, if you miss the green, you can. But obviously, Paul would play a safe shot to that. So.
Right.
Jeff needs a hole out, and he needs to eagle 15 when Paul doesn't. That's really, and then still get one more. So.
Yeah, and you were talking about it earlier. Jeff's holed out a handful in his matches today, but we have not really seen much of that in these matches with Luna.
It's tough too. I mean, the other thing too is he played that King of the Hill match probably 2-3 hours ago. So this is where it is an advantage for Paul, where he hasn't stopped playing for the last few hours,
yeah, he's consistently going. Even though you got to win more matches and shoot your best, he's going, and
that's kind of the last year at Worlds. It was kind of like that for me. I had to win so many in a row. Paul was, sitting, waiting, and you get on a run, you get some confidence, and you're in a rhythm, and.
Yeah, once you get in that rhythm, it's really hard to stop it. Just like we've seen with Luna, like you said earlier, he gets in that hole out phase, and
it's like that time I shot 63 at Oakmont on Sunday at the U.S. Open. Hat tip, Mark. All right, so what do we got here?
Now, do you go for the shot these guys are going, or do you go in the rough?
So if you go to the rough isn't bad sometimes, but where that pin is right there, you kind of have no options, because your ball's not going to spin. If the pin's in a wide open area, I don't mind going to the rough there.
Right, but you'll go here to kind of take a wood in.
There's no risk going for that island with that small straight wind.
Right.
Yeah, I'd be more inclined to go to the island, or not to the island. Big crosswind area or something.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Mark with a little needle. Notice how I put an asterisk next to that win. Very controversial that I got a bye in the first round.
Yeah, and this is tough for Jeff because it's not a hard look. So even if Luna sets himself up with a long putt, Jeff has to.
See, he's just gonna swing.
He has to hole it out.
Watch him use the fat part of the green to land it and then spin it over, rather than trying to take it straight at it where the landing area is so much smaller. He's gonna land it where there's no. His speed doesn't have to be perfect, and that's a much riskier shot by Jeff because he has to hit a better shot doing what he did.
Absolutely.
You'll notice that with a lot of the Paul and some better players. Always landing at the fat part, giving yourself most margin of error possible. I think Jeff goes over to the left here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking because
it's
that
a pretty
pin's
straight wind here.
That's a good setup for that to kind of just drive it right in.
Because he's gonna be coming in with about a 5 or 6 iron, so the wind's not gonna touch it much. Maybe he can get lucky and at least give Luna something to think about. If he can get this in and then knock it on 15, Turn.
Turn just a little bit too early on that. Now you mentioned it earlier. This, this next hole,
we can see a 2-shot swing here. So this is okay. He's not even going to look at it. That's probably a smart play by Paul.
Yeah.
He knows Jeff doesn't have the 290 in his bag, and so he's not going to get that there with a 3-wood. He could try a skip here, but man, he does have a 310. This will skip.
He's down 3. Do you go for it at this point?
There's the baby.
Yeah.
You have to. There's no.
Now what about the 9.5?
I can't say I agree with that. I mean, you're running out of time here.
Yeah, especially with 18. Like you said, you water 18 even on the worst setup, and you've got a pretty easy birdie chip.
As long as you water it somewhere around the pin, it's going to drop you next to it. I mean, he must have thought his odds were better of getting a hole out than. But with him playing a 310 driver, I think that would have skipped if he did an A1 roll. Keep in mind he's a lefty too. The A is a tougher shot for a lefty.
Okay.
He's got. If it was, I'll bet you if that look was flipped and it was a C, he would have gone.
Go for it. Yeah.
Yeah. See, this is just. Yep. Play it safe.
Oh,
look at this.
yeah. Luna with
Paul
another
Luna,
ace.
ladies and gentlemen. I think that's. Is that 3? That's 3 hole outs, I think. Is that 2 or 3?
He's got 2 hole-in-ones. Yeah,
and then he hole out number 1 as well.
Yeah, that's right.
He's on for a 32 here. And I think we're all going to be getting super fucked up tonight. This is going to be great.
Yeah, and this is.
Yeah. Jeff's run bad on setups. 18 of Ruby was easy. The 12 on Ruby was easy. Sometimes your only hope is to get a hard setup, and he just hasn't seen a lot.
The
of
holes
those.
that normally even give you extremely great players a hard time. He didn't see any of those in his matches with Luna, and
I mean, what are you gonna do though? The guy's shooting a 3 better against you. This is just.
Yeah.
This is just. I've often gone back and forth in my mind whether I'd rather lose because I messed up a couple or lose to
when
hole
somebody's
outs.
just on fire. Yeah.
I think I'd rather lose when I mess up because at least you feel like you had a hand in it.
Then you can blame yourself.
I mean, Jeff, they could play this match 100 times and nothing you could do.
Yeah. Yeah. So unless Sutyak makes this and Luna waters a couple times, I mean, I love this setup because I water way too much on here. I love having a birdie chip, but when it comes down to these
Paul
final
here,
matches,
he just slap it up there. I mean, I'm sure he wants to shoot a 32 just for because that's pretty cool. But
but you got to balance that.
There's no. You're up 4.
Oh.
Paul Luna, minus 32 under.
Paul Luna with 32.
Final match, minus 32
take over
under.
King of the Hill, Jeff Sutyak. Paul Luna is your
Great
Queen
showing
City
by
Open.
Jeff.
Absolutely.
Like I said, that comes down to Paul. probably hasn't stopped playing for the last 4 or 5 hours, and I doubt Jeff played a game in the last 3 hours.
Yeah, it's been at least 2 hours, and you can't.
Make a difference.
It doesn't discredit what Jeff did to go undefeated up until his final match. But like you said, Luna, when he's in that on the loser side, he just seems there's something that triggers inside him, that ignites inside him. And
I'll bet you next time, and Jeff will realize he probably should have.
second place finish.
He's gonna learn from this one.
Absolutely.
If you ask me, he probably, like I said, he erred in not staying sharp during that long wait.